Ukraine's elite sniper units, the Ghosts, have silently taken up positions. Now, not only bullets but also a paralyzing terror hangs in the air. In this hell stretching from Bakhmut to Zaporizhia, there is no safe corner left for Russian soldiers. Because when a ghost targets you, you never hear the bullet, you only see your comrade collapsing to the ground. These men aren't just pulling the trigger, they're leaving an army headless. The targets aren't ordinary infantrymen, they're officers at the radio, commanders reviewing maps, and the most experienced anti-tank operators. A single bullet can shatter a multi-million-dollar coordination effort in seconds. The December 2025 data is chilling. The Russian army's personnel losses are approaching 1.2 million. In the last 24 hours alone, there have been over 1,000 casualties, and the heart of this figure consists of critical personnel being targeted with surgical precision by snipers. Units that lose their commanders retreat into ambushes in panic or abandon their positions without looking back. But the real nightmare begins when combined with the eyes from the sky. Ukrainian drones have created a 10 to 15 kilometer death zone. While snipers target their prey below, FPV drones hunt down armored vehicles trying to escape from above. Russian tank losses have exceeded 11,400, and armored vehicle losses have surpassed 23,000. Even if the tank hatches are closed, there is no escape. Drones find the tank's weakest point, and snipers hunt down the fleeing crew one by one. This is the darkest scenario of modern warfare. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. For the sniper, the concept of setting an ambush no longer exists. He is now an executioner. With the coordinates provided by the drone from above, he knows where the Russian infantry will dash or behind which bush they will take cover even before they do it. When a Russian soldier hears an explosion, he instinctively dives into the nearest trench or leans against a wall. The sniper has already locked onto that exact spot in his crosshairs. In that second when the soldier thinks he is safe, the .338 round tears through both his helmet and his skull simultaneously. While the buzzing of the drones grates on the ears, the sniper's bullet turns everything to silence. When the head of the man next to him suddenly explodes, it is already too late for the Russian soldier trying to understand where the shot came from. The next bullet is already lodged in his throat. This is not a skirmish. This is a one-sided slaughterhouse where the opposing side cannot even strike back. Every Russian attempting to bring ammunition to the front or leaping from an armored vehicle to run toward a bunker is nothing more than a point in the sniper's crosshairs. Snipers are no longer just hitting soldiers, they are striking at the Russian army's mobility. If you move, you die. The wave of panic heard on Russian radio frequencies is not fake. The men tell each other. They never take their eyes off the sky, and the moment you poke your head out, you feel the barrels at the back of your neck. This is the greatest blow, breaking the army's will to fight. The 1.2 million losses are not just a statistic, that number is the result of thousands of bullets filtered through a sniper's scope. The trenches are filled with the stench of decay and despair. If you step outside, a sniper rips out your lungs. If you stay inside, a drone collapses onto your head. For Russia, this war is no longer an operation, it is a massive execution chamber where a ghost waits in every corner. Snipers no longer hide, because everywhere already belongs to them. It doesn't matter if you are behind a wall or a kilometer away, that bullet finds you. Ukraine's ghost hunters have taught the Russian army not how to fight, but how to wait for death. Russian units are no longer capable of coordinated movement. A squad of soldiers cannot even check on what is happening in the trench next to them. They know that any soldier who raises his head even 2 centimeters above the edge of the trench will instantly meet the surgeon's scalpel, the .338 caliber bullet, of an invisible executioner. This situation has given rise to a syndrome in the Russian army known as trench confinement. Soldiers cannot even move to attend to their basic needs. The trenches are overflowing with filth, hunger, and men who have lost their sanity, trapped alongside the corpses of their fallen comrades. This crisis does not only strike the infantry. Snipers and drones primarily hunt for rank. Anyone carrying a radio antenna, holding a map, or issuing orders to others is marked by the eye in the sky and executed by a sniper's bullet. This is the reason for the staggering number of Russian officer casualties, herds left without leaders. Once their commanders are struck, units succumb to panic and attempt to flee into the open, only to become an all-you-can-eat buffet for drones and other snipers lying in wait. With the widespread use of thermal scopes and night vision systems, darkness is no longer a sanctuary, it has become a trap. When Russian soldiers huddle together for warmth in the dark of night, they appear as massive targets on a thermal screen. The sniper, watching through a thermal scope, completes the chaos triggered by a munition dropped from a silently hovering drone. Night is now merely a window of time where fear is magnified and the source of incoming fire is even more indistinguishable. The ruined cities of eastern Ukraine have become labyrinths. Every shattered window, every pile of concrete can be a sniper's nest. For a Russian soldier, crossing a street is no different from playing Russian roulette. They are trapped inside armored vehicles, but those vehicles are nothing more than slow-moving targets filled with fuel and ammunition for FPV drones. There is no getting out of the vehicle, and there is no staying inside. Ukraine's specially trained, close-contact teams are moving in. This is a modern siege tactic. Snipers no longer fire only from a kilometer away, they are advancing shoulder to shoulder with infantry units, inside buildings, or through the brush just outside the trenches. As they move from room to room, the infantry infiltrates the most fortified Russian positions under the precision strike support of the snipers. These ground-based assaults are happening with a speed the Russians never anticipated. While electronic warfare systems struggle to jam the drones, Ukrainian infantry bursts out of the chaos to seize the Russians by the throat. This is no longer just a war of technology, it has transformed into a war of will and raw strength. The ultimate nightmare for a Russian soldier is no longer a drone dropping into his trench, but a Ukrainian soldier suddenly appearing at the entrance of his bunker. To protect the infantry's advance, snipers neutralize Russian heavy weapons operators, machine gunners and RPG gunners, before they can even turn their barrels. The Russians don't see an army firing back at them, they see death machines springing from every corner. In the ruined cities, ground raids have turned into a total slaughterhouse. While Ukrainian infantry clears every room and basement, snipers maintain absolute control over the streets. Retreating is no longer an option for the Russians. The moment they step onto the street, they are cut down not from a kilometer away, but by a bullet fired from the window of the very next building. Airstrikes could be perceived as a natural disaster, but these face-to-face ground assaults have triggered a wave of uncontrolled retreat within the Russian army. As Russian soldiers face professionals who hunt them down one by one, calm, collected, and knowing exactly what to do. Surrender rates have begun to skyrocket. In trench-clearing operations involving grenades and short-range rifle fire, Ukrainian teams completely disregard Russia's numerical superiority. This relentless pressure from the ground renders the Russian commands' hold the line orders meaningless, because soldiers fear an enemy looking them in the eye far more than an enemy they cannot see. Modern warfare is no longer a numbers game, it is a war of invisibility. What we are witnessing on the steppes of Ukraine is not just technology, it is that flawless, cold, and deadly synchronization where the drone in the sky meets the sniper's bullet. For the Russian army, there is no longer such a thing as a safe zone. If you stay in the trench, you face death from the sky, if you step outside, you face it from the tip of a barrel. While this new doctrine brings an end to the era of massive armies and heavy armor, it marks the beginning of a new age ruled by ghosts and shadows. So, what do you think? Has the reign of the tank truly come to an end, or is this just the beginning? I'm waiting for your thoughts and analyses in the comments section. Let's discuss it there. To make sure you don't miss out on these kinds of up-to-date and hard-hitting military analyses, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next strategic briefing. Stay tuned.